Hello, Andrew here at La Estancia por ahora. Hope you guys are all okay. Just touching bases with you, letting you guys know what's going on. Uh, just still cleaning up, still tidying. Haven't done any painting yet. Um, it fell below zero yesterday. I'm not quite sure whether painting is the right thing to do yet. So most paints don't actually work well when you hit below 10 degrees on a regular day. So I think I'm gonna have to wait until we get temperatures above 10 degrees for a whole day before I can actually do the undercoat and paint. Otherwise I'll end up with the same thing that the original guys did. Of interest today, my first conflict with a local. You don't say. Here you think, man's are getting in trouble with somebody. That's pretty normal. But actually in the last, since I left First Starter, I've been quite sedate, minding my own business and letting everybody else mind theirs. So I haven't actually had any troubles. But today I went to Bathurst, to Aldi, because it's a lot cheaper down there than it is at Foodwork over here. The prices in country, how do you call it, supermarkets are horrendous. But Aldi is the same throughout Australia, so they get the same prices everywhere, which is great. I've got an Aldi's in Lithgow and an Aldi's in Bathurst. I went to Bathurst just to try that out. But I was waiting for parking. I basically drove down, to the Aldi car park, and there was one guy got into his car and he was taking his time to getting out. And a guy behind me flashed his lights at me. He had this big Toyota Wrangler type of deal. I think it was a Toyota. Might have been a different one, but it was the usual Toyota Ute. Flashed his lights at me. I ignored him and waited for somebody to actually open up a parking, and then I basically drove in. And as I basically went to the parking bay to actually park in, he shouted, finally made a decision. And I thought, yeah, that's not country-like. I didn't like him flashing his lights at me, and I ignored him there because, like city folk, we don't give a shit about lights. But him shouting at me was, I thought that's asking for retribution. You never let things slide in my book. If they're bigger than you, you get them later. They're your boss, you make them hurt somehow else, but you get them back. You never let any kind of insult stand alone. So I basically, I parked my car and I realized that he was going to the Aldi as well. So I beat him to the entry to Aldi, and I just stood there and I looked him in the eye, and he was a tall Australian dude with a baseball cap. And, he was maybe older than me, same age, white head. I said, yeah, I already made a decision. And I looked him in the eye, and he just put his head down, and since I blocked his way, he had to walk around me mumbling something or other. That's as good as it gets. I think if we'd thrown punches, I probably would have hurt him more than he would have hurt me. Tall people, frail bones, that's the way I look at it. Short person, we're used to getting hit. We can take a punch. But, he never got to that. It was just angry stares at each other. And here's the one who had put his eyes down, so I'm counting it as a win. Anyway, just something to tell you guys, nothing really interesting, just to have a chat with you. So take care of yourselves, enjoy life as it is, and whenever I have something interesting, I'll let you know. Okay, Andrew here from La Estancia por ahora.